DMC5, aka Power, Motivation, Stylish Cowboy Hat Simulator 9000, is the fourth entry in the Smashy Funny Redcoat Man series, if you can read.
You know how to read?
Yes, I do know how to read.
Name 10 books.
And by God, even 4 years after this game launched, it still has been pulling the weight of the franchise. Sorry, Nero.
What?
Now, I absolutely love the first 3 DMC games, and for some reason, I just never got around to playing 5. But hey, like your girlfriend's period, better late than never. And oh my God, this game is good. I mean, really good. This is basically DMC perfection. The story, for starters, I can sum up in 2 words. Daddy issues. I mean, fuck. DMC might as well just stand for Daddy Makes Me Cry. It would be harder to find a character in this game who doesn't have daddy issues. Dante and Virgil? Obviously, and Virgil has mommy issues too.
A little Virgil! Crying in the corner because mommy got mad.
I seem to recall you crying every time father raised his voice.
Nero, carrying the family tradition, of course.
He's your father!
What?
Lady, our queen of daddy issues.
I know you hate Virgil, but you can't kill your own father.
It's true. You'd never recover from that.
Can you shoot me? Your own father.
Trish, I would definitely say so. V. Nico.
I didn't cry when my asshole daddy died.
I mean, not to judge a book by its cover or anything, but after going to enough metal shows with crowds full of absent fathers, I could have spotted that shit all the way in Memphis from the goddamn Eiffel Tower. Anyways, onto the actual story. So, demons attempt to invade Earth again, and the funny guys with the big swords have to take care of it again. But this time, there's not just Dante, and there's not just Nero. But now, we also have the Hot Topic employee, V. And V is fucking awesome. He has a really unique playstyle that really separates him from the other characters. He has a friggin' panther, a parrot, and this hulking beast called Nightmare that he's able to conjure and use as attacks. Basically, Griffin the parrot, I honestly don't know if it's a parrot, whatever kind of bird he is. He basically functions as V's long-range attack, while the Panther is his blade attack, and Nightmare is his, special. He also uses a devil trigger gauge like Dante and Virgil. Now, I'm not gonna lie, V is by far the easiest to use and extremely easy to get S ranks with, and is the most fun to play as next to Dante. So basically, to finish off enemies, V survives off their life force, and you have to finish them off with this execution style attack, and I don't care how many times I do it, it is so satisfying to the point, let's just say his cane isn't the only thing being filled with life, if you know what I'm saying. V's introduction to the game was also handled really good, and in my opinion, a lot better than Nero's was in DMC4. I was one of those people that really wasn't a fan of Nero off the bat, and forcing the player to play as him in 4 at first, I'll admit it was a little annoying, and I think if you played as Dante first and they slowly introduced Nero, I wouldn't have cared as much. That's why I think DMC5 did this perfect with V, because this time you play as a previous character you already like, and then you sprinkle him here and there, and then you get to play as him for a little bit, and then you're like, oh damn, I actually kind of like this guy. And honestly, if anything, I kind of preferred playing as V over Nero, but that's purely personal preference. I don't really like Nero as a character too much. He went from being Dante 2.0, then took a trip to the North Pole and got a haircut and became Jack Frost. He's just always whining about something, and the sections where I did play as him and the cutscenes that I had to listen to him talk kind of reminds me of why I put off playing this game for so long. Now, I gotta say, Dante and Virgil's rivalry has never been better.
This thing got real big. You trying to compensate for something?
Yes. Your incompetence.
It's just amazing that these brothers still act like they're 12. This rivalry is why we're all still here, and we all absolutely live for it. And it's really great to see the rivalry kind of not necessarily ends, but morph into something else, because they're just both have been at it for so long that they're able to just kind of casually beat the shit out of each other and then just, go back to killing the rest of the demons and shit. It's just beautiful. When it comes to the upgrade shop now, whether it be through the newly added Nico and her truck, or the classic divinity statues, all your red orbs carry over through characters, including your health bar upgrades and the DT upgrades as Dante and V. Because like I said, both Dante and V still use the double trigger gauge, so you can upgrade it for both characters, either or, it'll still keep upgrading. Which, speaking of which, they actually also added purple orb fragments, which is pretty cool, so you don't just have to buy them anymore. You could actually find most of the purple orbs in this game. You could also try out and test attacks before you buy them now, which is a really fantastic addition to the game as well. Now, believe it or not, I know this might be a controversial concept, but being an alpha male is not about the car you drive or the underage women you traffic. It's actually who you main in DMC5. So if you really are a true alpha male, you'll main Dante, and you'll be able to switch styles on the fly like you can in 4, but also customize your weapon loadout as well. So instead of being limited to only 2 weapons, or having to cycle through a bunch of garbage, you can actually just use the 2 to 3 weapons you want, even if the third best one isn't unlocked until the second to last level. And now, as much as I want to slander Nero some more, I just can't when it comes to his gameplay, because his hentai grab is just so damn satisfying to use and to chain combos with. And that's the point I want to iterate here. Even a character that's my least favorite to play as is still a blast, and even if having to replenish the devil breakers is really fucking annoying, it's a nice change up and it still is a lot of fun and adds a lot of variety to the gameplay. And if you main Virgil, you're just a psychopath. At certain points, you're allowed to choose which character you want to play as for specific levels, and I was actually really surprised how well this was integrated, because you could actually see them fighting off in the distance in the other parts of the level, and it was just a really cool detail to be able to notice, which this game is full of details just like that, and it makes you absolutely fall in love with it. Whether it be Dante sliding across the floor because his sword is too fucking big now, or V reciting poetry to refill his devil trigger, or calling Nico at the phone booth. This game has just so much attention to detail, and it's awesome. And it's all happening while this goddamn beautiful symphony plays. The soundtrack is absolutely phenomenal, and each battle theme is so uniquely crafted to each character, and it's all of them are great in their own respective right. You can also actually swap the soundtracks as well if you want to use soundtracks from older games, which is really cool. Honestly, man, there really aren't any negatives about this game. I mean, some design choices were a little bit questionable. Like, the entire game kind of just looks like it has this gray color filter the entire time. And most of the enemies are so bug-eyed that they look like they're going to make a Twitter account and start telling you about how the giant dick root growing through the city is due to global warming. But it's fine because they aren't alive long enough for me to really notice, apart from the introduction cutscene where you really get to take a nice gander at them. Problem solving and puzzles? What are you, a fucking dork? There are no puzzles or any sort of backtracking in this game like the originals, and to be honest, even though it's kind of sad, I'm kind of fucking glad, and I think even Dante agrees when the game actually does throw the faintest concept of a puzzle at you.
It's been a while since I used that.
Because let's be honest, we were never really playing DMC for the rich puzzle solving. We're playing to kill a lot of things in the most stylish way possible, and by God, that's what the founding fathers intended for this country to be. God bless the Japanese for being more patriotic about America than its own citizens are. All that aside, again, the game is just fantastic. That staple stylish DMC gameplay was just truly perfected in this game. And it just feels so goddamn smooth. Even if the fucking auto lock is a bitch to change sometimes and doesn't work, the game will still really keep you entertained through and through. And with lots and lots of extras, you'll be entertained for a while. So if you haven't played it yet, get the fuck off this video, get some motivation to play it. Where's your motivation? This game will make you understand Virgil's thirst for power. You want power, right? I want Lady to crush my face with her giant... I also just want power. So let's help each other out. So before you go play, make sure you subscribe, then I'll have power, and you'll play DMC5 because I told you to, then you'll have power. It's a win-win for both of us, so do it. Subscribe now!